When we talk about discrimination in Nigeria, we often reduce it to tribalism because that is the easiest language to use. So we say something like Yoruba versus Igbo, Igbo versus Hausas, Hausas versus Yorubas, and the argument begins and ends there. But in all these conversations, something far more disturbing is happening quietly. Many tribes are not even mentioned at all. And that silence is not neutrality. It is erasure. It is the loudest form of dismissal. Not to be named is worse than to be insulted because it means you're not even considered important enough to offend. And that is the minority reality. People tread carefully when speaking about three dominant ethnic groups in Nigeria. Words are weighed, statements are guided. Everyone knows there will be consequences. But when it comes to minority tribes, that caution disappears. Nobody filters their words. Nobody worries about backlash. Nobody thinks twice. And that alone tells you everything about how power, visibility, and value are distributed in this country. We talk endlessly about marginalization, about who has produced or hasn't produced a president. And as important as that conversation is, those of us from minority groups are usually forced into a corner, either defend that claim or argue against it. But rarely, if ever, do we stop and ask the most painful question of all: what about us? Not because we don't matter, but because we have been conditioned to believe that we don't exist. That audacity of disrespect. And that brings me to...
Now, I should say by now, a lot of you don't see that talk with that man really talk against Akwa Ibomites and all that. I'm waiting this one they try to explain. Now, they pay me for this majority, minority, matter. Sometimes you hear those majority, they say, how many on a day? If time is reach, then go squeeze on and then go through on. And I don't even make my own research. I don't do my own findings. I find out even for this country, what this majority they carry for head, so minorities contribute for this country pass. So when we talk of even natural resources, waiting they pay me and say the natural resources where they this country, people where they produce are more. Now these same minorities where they neglect. These three majorities where they carry for head, majority, I don't really see. Apart from human, this way that they contribute, so say majority now, human resource where they produce, if they want to, or maybe human being day. Come on, human being, come on the number of people where they get, because of course, no human being really better than any human being. Not just number. If you really talk about value, what did they give Nigeria value, which is natural resources that we know. Now this minority, now this team, same people that they call minority group, but more just leave them. More just leave them. More just take a son, I don't understand what the lady talks, so more just leave her for there. One of they look minority less first. Until country reach where all minorities go say, okay, so we won't get our own country. Maybe majority cook must stay their own now. So because since they're not they look everybody less, you go reach where they go say, oh yeah, majority, but when I done a country, minority won't come, but without our country. But if you even check them, even places where minorities then are there, please they pass. But no, I don't go far. Now marry will tell you, no, if you tell you. But I bet more than tune down all this disrespect when they get from minorities. More than they tune and down. More than they tune and down. Because if minorities start, we don't say Nigeria, no enough. If minority starts, you go pieces small. And I'm going to tell you,